Hello everyone, I am Jack and I'm back, and it is the end of the day. I am tired and I still got to clean up this mess, but let me show you what I got. I have got part of the passenger side on. Oh, that block doesn't need to be there. Let me go ahead and move it. It was there because this thing front end was getting heavy and I needed something to prop it up. There we go. Now you can see. This is what the passenger side looks like. And we'll just go circle around. The hood is a flat hood. I copied off of the C8 because I need it to put under the heavily vented hood. But if somebody didn't want the heavily vented hood, this flatter hood would be an option. Would probably get rid of the ridges that you see right there and right there. Simple to do. Same thing with the depression in the middle. Instead, I would probably continue this piece there. There's plenty of aftermarket reproduction hoods for the different C2 Corvette hoods. There were a lot of different ones available on it. Also, the hood has a bow in the wrong direction, so I had to use a clamp on each side to hold it down, and then there's a piece of wood in the middle to lift it up to clear the windshield wipers, which they wouldn't clear. I'm back to using the mold slash template just to mock up to make sure. I got the front end where I think I need it to be, but in order to tell, I needed to have the full fender and fender flare wheel opening. So I went ahead and used the old one because I know that's what I modeled everything off of, and it looks right on to me. Let me know what you think. But so now I've got the solid one over there. I've just got to make it fit. Use the template. It's getting close. The sides, everything is, like I said, the 80% level, just enough to get it to where it's ready to go past the 80% level. Let me go ahead and go in the shop. I got to walk around everything. So I did put a splash of paint on the back just so it will be all one color. It needs to be sanded and all of that. Same thing over here. And again, I'm just roughing it in, and it's covered in sanding dust, as you can see, including the interior, because the windows, let's just say Duntov in the windows. There we go. Why they took the windows out, I have no earthly idea. All right, so at least you can get an idea of what the thing's going to look like, again at the 80% level. I did sand everything, scuff everything with 220. I don't think my sandpaper was dying by the time I got over on this side, so I'll probably have to hit the passenger side again. Again, my goal, I'm just going to put some black on it so the whole car is black, which means painting the front. But before I did that, I had to get all of the pieces aligned, and so there's alignment marks. I did sand, and I sanded down some of the alignment marks, but left enough that I can use what's there. I did notice that apparently I never finished the passenger lower side. I mean, it's there, but it's rough. If you go down there, that's a little rough. So I need to go and do that. I was kind of disappointed. I thought I had both sides done, but it's close, but it's just not quite there. A couple of special templates. That's why I'm leaving the marks. You can see the marks, the A, B, C, and D. Don't know if you can tell that D, and I guess an E too. But those are marks where I made templates for each of those, and then between the two sides, over here, there's corresponding marks as well. A, B, C, D, I, S, A's. Anyway, I do know at one time the two marks align between the two sides. I just need to darken them and reinforce them. I'll probably do them I don't know, I might see if I can get some of that pinstriping tape, because again, I want to paint this thing black, but I do want those alignments because I do have to do some work on the other side. So I might get some of that pinstriping tape, paint over it black, but then because of the texture difference, the raised, I can still use that for alignment. Again, I'll have to sand it all off, but that's to be expected. An issue that I might have, if you watch my last video, everything is on, dead nuts on the C8, but these are wider wheels and tires than the C8. So I did this for the Grand Sport, no, there is no Grand Sport, the ZR1 and whatever the other new Corvettes are, with the wide bodies. Well, I put my tires, wheels and tires for that. I thought I had the body wide enough to do that, but if you look, the tires stick out from the fender just a little bit. And then over here, the same thing. So I've got to decide what to do. I can use a little bit narrower wheels and tires, and that'll solve the issue. If there is an issue, there may not be an issue, but it's going to be close. Whether it'll turn, the wheels will turn without rubbing and all of that. If they do, if there is an issue, again, I can go slightly narrower on the wheels and tires. It won't take but a ½ inch on the outside, so offset. But all of this is just some wheels and tires that I had from a prior project, and then I used all kinds of spacers to get it to fit where I thought I wanted it. And again, I thought that I thought I measured this and I thought I had it dead nuts on. And it's strange. It does look okay on the passenger side. And maybe it'll be better. I don't know. It just looks like it doesn't stick out enough. Anyway, we'll see. All right, that's what I've got. So go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the alert, hit the thanks if you want to donate, and if you don't like what I'm doing, you don't know jack. Bye.